Hey everybody, it is officially now February of 2023, which means that we are rolling into Requests Month, which is a month in which I take a look at usually 4, sometimes 5, depending on how the weeks fall, games that have specifically been requested that I take a look at, or ones that have just outright been sent to me. And before you start throwing requests at me in the comments of this video, I want to mention that I've already decided on all 4 of the games that I'll be taking a look at for Requests Month. That's something I always do in advance so I know what I'm working on and how I can budget my time out accordingly. So if you are throwing requests at me in the comments, just understand that you're not going to be seeing them in this February unless you just happen to request something that I had already decided on. But I'll certainly keep them in mind for future videos and of course future Requests Month, especially if a particular game is very highly requested. So for those of you out there who really want me to play a particular game and review it, feel free to throw that in the comments, and if somebody's already thrown it in there, go ahead and just upvote those posts so I can better keep track of things. It makes it a lot more difficult to sift through requests when I'm finding duplicates and such. So before you start typing out a request, go ahead and just check the comments first to make sure that somebody hasn't already requested it, and if they have already requested it, just go ahead and upvote their post so I can keep track of things more easily. There is also going to be a change to the proceedings. It's not just going to be me taking a look at 4 highly requested games or games that were sent to me or whatever. It's also going to be the return of question and answer videos. I haven't done one of those in several years at this point, and I want to go ahead and get back into doing them, so I decided that instead of just working it into the regular weekly schedule, it might be better if I just go ahead and make it a yearly thing, and what better way to do it than to have questions submitted throughout Requests Month, and then answer those questions at the end of the month. This means that instead of doing the typical thing that I had been doing of answering about 5 or so questions per Q&A video, the Q&A video is just going to be whatever questions I've got, so if it ends up being an hour long or more, then, well, so be it. I do have a few rules for those of you who are trying to submit questions, however. The first of them is, don't ask me what I think about insert game here. That's a review request. That won't make it into a Q&A. And the second is, no political questions. I'm sick of political bullshit, you're sick of political bullshit, let's just leave it at that. Other than those, pretty much anything is fair game, so go ahead and start throwing your questions in the comments, and for those of you who support me on Patreon, you can either send me a DM on there, or you can throw those into the posts that I'll be making on Patreon about that, and at the end of the month I'll assemble all of the questions, and I'll go ahead and start making that Q&A video. But as for the Request Month reviews themselves, those will start next week. This week I'll be catching up on a video that I was working on for last week, but just didn't get it done in time, and that'll be a multi-game My Thoughts on video, so stay tuned for that this Saturday. And then next week, the proper Request Month reviews will begin, so stay tuned for those as well. Thank you all very much for watching. Thanks in advance for any questions that you're submitting for the Q&A, and I'll see you all in later videos.